Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is March 6th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the Doppler radars are overlaid. We got lightning strikes right off the coastline here. We got some showers across the Bay Area. You can see the low pressure system pinwheeling down the coastline as the sun rises over the Pacific Ocean here. So we're going to have that thunderstorm throughout the day today and for tomorrow across places like southern Nevada and Arizona as well. A little bit of mountain snow incoming here also. Still got some high surf advisories out there as well. And we'll take a look at the extended forecast as always as we go through the video here this morning. Medford does include some places in Northern California. This is a good idea for a reminder here across some of the higher terrain where you're getting some of that melting during the day and then maybe some refreezing during the morning hours. Keep that in the back of your mind. Black ice is a big threat there on the roadways. Now, the top 4 day snow reports, I'll show this one more time. You can see some areas of Sierra Nevada got up over 10 feet here. Nice forecast overall. Great graphic here from the National Weather Service, Sacramento. Here's the precipitation today, and some of this might locally overperform for some of the Bay Area. You saw some of those showers bubbling around, but this goes through 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. Just generally light amounts, not expecting any flooding from this. Across the higher terrain of Southern California, there is some of that snow threat here. As we go through Thursday, you can see Big Bear maybe 3 inches. And if we look at the national blend of models, I'll put this into motion. You can see some light amounts here across some of the Sierra Nevada and Southern California. Nothing like what we just went through, but just a heads up, it doesn't take much to make things slick. Now, here's today and tomorrow isolated thunderstorm potential here for Las Vegas, Nevada, and favoring the higher terrain here. But, all bets are off once you get a thunderstorm kind of over top of your head there. You can get some moderate precipitation, maybe some local flooding that you don't expect anytime a thunderstorm is around. And this is for Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, Phoenix, Arizona. You can see the precipitation with thunderstorm activity as we go through tomorrow. Now, this is actually going right now. Special marine warning for waterspout potential right off the coastline here is Point Conception. You can see the winter weather advisories for the higher terrain and the high surf advisories are still in effect for some of Southern California, so do not let your guard down yet. This is going to be continuing on here as we go through the day today. Eyes on the sky. There is waterspout or brief tornado potential here across some of Southern California. And if you look there, you can see the widely scattered severe thunderstorms capable of producing waterspouts there right off the coastline. There you can see some gusty winds and some small hail and some dangerous lightning with that activity also. And just one more look at things here. The overall winter storm impacts mainly just minor, maybe some moderate across the higher terrain there, but nothing like what we just went through. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, things got a great smartphone app, a lightning detection system with it as well. Highly recommended. Click on that link down below to save 10%. Now, looking at the North American model, you can see our low pressure center there. This is 80-meter wind speed, and this is the state of California. You can see some of these gusty winds, and some of this thunderstorm activity here is going to be rolling in and kicking up the high winds here as the system moves across the region. Peninsular ranges, eventually it transverse ranges. The strong northwest flow comes down all the way through the coastline here. And we pick up some of the winds across some of Nevada and some of the desert areas, especially going through the day Thursday also in the wake of that system. So just pointing those out. Now, what I want to show you is the composite reflectivity. This is what the Doppler radar may look like as we go through the day today. You can see it picking up some of that shower activity across the Bay Area, and you can see some of these thunderstorms, dangerous lightning, waterspout potential, some gusty winds out there, and in some brief periods of some moderate or heavy rain at times. Can't rule that out. And as we scroll on through tomorrow, you can see this is going to redevelop across some portions of Nevada through northern Arizona here, and maybe some rainfall for Phoenix even. And then that system kicks out of here, and we turn our eyes to some Pacific and Northwest systems that may start to include California as well. Now, looking at the surface-based cape, this is instability. You can see this is a pretty unstable low. It does have some, potential here, waterspout potential, lightning potential here, and this goes through the day today. So watch out, eyes on the sky, Southern California today. Be prepared for that, maybe even some small hail. Now, looking at the day one thunderstorm outlook, you can't rule out a lightning strike even for Sacramento, for some of the Bay Area, down through Southern California here. And as we go through tomorrow, it does include Las Vegas and Phoenix. This is looking at the European lightning flash density potential. So as we scroll through the morning here, you can kind of see that up and down the Bay Area, the Central Coast, and eventually across some of Southern California as we go through this afternoon. So again, heads up for that. And then as we go through tomorrow, you can see that potential for some lightning activity through the interior areas, maybe Las Vegas and down towards Phoenix. Now, this is something interesting here. So the European model is using AI now, and they actually show these runs all the way out to 15 days now. So this was actually last night. So usually only went out about 90 hours or 140 for the ensemble. So we're getting new tools available to us. And if we scroll out here, You can kind of see how the Gulf of Alaska low gets pretty active as we start to go through this weekend. And some of this is going to be impacting the state of California. It's also going to send some big waves our way also. So we'll be watching that here over the next few days. But then if we scroll out far enough towards mid-March, you can kind of see a big ridge building here and then kind of almost like a thermal trough signature up the coastline there. So we may warm up a bit also. But who knows? That's kind of looking way off into the extended forecast, and we'll revisit that as we go through the upcoming days. Looking at the GFS, though, a little bit closer to home. This is the Hawaiian Islands to the bottom left. There's California here, and there goes the system pinwheeling down the coastline there. It moves through as we go through the day Thursday, a bit of a ridge building, but then the Gulf of Alaska low starts throwing systems back at the Pacific Northwest, which will be including California at times. Still some disagreement on just how strong some of these frontal systems are going to be, but we are going to have mountain snow potential with that also. Now, taking a look at the wave heights, this is another one. So you can see this system coming down the coastline actually has some wave action with it as it goes on in through tomorrow and Friday morning before that starts to wane. But the Gulf of Alaska low is going to send some additional wave action into the state as we go through the end of the weekend and on in through next week. And again, we'll be nailing down those details a little bit more tomorrow. We're really going to start to dive into that tomorrow and try to see what kind of model agreement we have with that. In the meantime here, it doesn't take much to make things slick. So just kind of check before you go and be prepared to run into some winter driving conditions here across I-80, for example. A little bit of snowfall coming. You can see the snow levels, they're going to be below Donner Pass out there, so just be prepared for that. And same thing with 395. Again, some light snowfall is a possibility here over the next day or so. And again, the snow level is generally 6,000 feet or below for Tioga Pass, Sesame Plot. And the snow water content, I like showing this one here too, because we are above average so far for this point in the year, and you can see how much we've been struggling as we went through December and January, then this rocket launch trajectory since we hit February 1st here for the Sierra Nevada. So great to see that. And if you missed this yesterday as well, actually a significant wildfire potential for May and June, actually below normal here across some of Southern California up into the Sierra Nevada here. The only downside to this is with all these wet conditions here, you can grow some of that vegetation that, summertime is dry here across California. So when you grow all that vegetation, you've just got more stuff to burn. So we're going to have to watch that off through the extended forecast. But, overall, things are doing pretty well, as you can imagine here across much of the state of California. The drought monitor reflects that also. Just a couple abnormally dry areas that might be taken away as we go on in through March. But yeah. Heads up, eyes on the sky. Watch out for that lightning approaching Point Conception and eventually Los Angeles and San Diego as we go through the day and the afternoon, evening tonight. And you can see the showers can't rule out a lightning strike with some of that activity across the Bay Area there as well. But anyway, headed off to work early this morning, so kicking out the video pretty quickly here. I'll do my normal briefing tomorrow. We'll break down the systems a little bit more that are coming out of the Northwest and see what kind of impacts those are going to have on the state of California. So anyway, click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys then.